Hi, thank you for joining us today on Watch Your Style. My name is Eric. Today we're going to discuss a very important topic, and it's how to spot a fake Rolex or any watch by that matter. To help us out with this very important topic today, we have from Instagram, the infamous Rolex Enforcer. Okay, so joining us here live today is the Rolex Enforcer. So Rolex Enforcer, tell us, how do you feel to be here today?
Feel good, man. Thanks for having me. You know, anything CRM, I'll do anything for CRM, no problem.
All right, man. It's good to have you here too. So tell me, your account has been open since May 2013 and you've been clearly cleaning the streets with all these posers and fakers out there. So tell me exactly, how did this come about? How did this whole account start up?
My first account was actually called Instagram's Most Wanted. I started busting I used to collect Gucci belts, and I started busting like fake Gucci belts, fake Fendi belts, fake shoes, and then I started getting into watches, and I saw there was so many watches, so many fake watches on Instagram and Twitter that I said, you know what, I'm just gonna dedicate myself to this.
I see, yeah, I understand what you mean. Instagram is a crazy world, you gotta be careful what you see out there and believe. Now, let me ask you another question. What was that one moment that put you over the edge with the watches, or that one poser, I mean, if you recall, that put you over the edge that you were just like, enough? Do you recall? I mean, that one watch, at least can you describe to us that one watch that just put you over the edge?
Oh, well, I actually, I started getting, I was in the service industry in the watches, and, you know, I've seen thousands of watches, and, at first, you go out on the street and you see fake Rolexes, you see 10, 15 a day, and after I bought my first luxury watch, my first watch was a Breitling Chronomat. Okay, yeah. I paid like $6,000 or $7,000, and then I see these people with their fake watches, and it started to upset me because I was 25 years old. That's a lot of money to spend on a watch.
Yeah, I know what you mean, because you go through the giant struggle of getting the watch, getting it legit, getting it in good condition, and then you got this this other person walking by you with a $50 Canal Special, and he's getting, to the untrained eye, the same recognition, pretty much, right?
I don't think it's fair.
Yeah, I know. I hear you on that. So, what would you say is the difference between you, the Rolex Enforcer, and the fake watch buster?
Shout out to Fake Watch Buster, by the way. That's my man. That's my dude. But nah, I just look at it like a good cop, bad cop thing.
Okay.
He's more political. I mean, he's more politically correct. He's less savage than I am. I'll take it. But I just want to get something clear right now. I don't feel sorry for people that wear fake shit.
That's right. That's right, man.
I'm not gonna feel sorry for you. You could have chose something genuine in your price range, and yet you decided to go out and buy a symbol to tell the world, I have this, I have that. And in reality, you're just faking it.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. That's the truth, man. That's the way it is. So, pretty much, since you were saying that you were several years in the service industry of watches, I would imagine that that's where you got a lot of knowledge, because you got to see a lot of them over and over and over. And especially with Rolex, that they're very consistent. So, once you see them, it's pretty much they're all going to be the same unless they've been customized or something like that. So you would say that, is that where you get most of your knowledge from, or you also rely a little bit also on, different things you grasp from the internet and compare, right?
I would say it's like 70-30%. I mean, most my knowledge, things to look for, reference numbers, things like that. I got that from experience. But once in a while, you run into this tough watch that you really do have to rely on the internet and do your homework to crack the case.
Yeah, no, I agree with that, because let me tell you, there's some of them that are getting pretty good. I've seen some that are very good. You really got to get into like a forensic level on a couple of these Submariners to really know that they're fake. Eventually we're gonna talk about that in a little while. But yeah, no, I understand. And with the reference numbers and stuff like that, like even for as much as I know about watches, like I'm still memorizing some of the reference numbers, so it's not easy. So I could imagine over time you got all that, and these guys don't even know the reference numbers or even the models, because there's some of those watches out there that don't even exist. Like they got fake Rolexes. I see them on your page all the time, that don't even exist. Like they're models that are non-existent, right?
It's crazy. It's crazy. No, but the reference numbers, I mean, I always urge my jewelers to learn the reference numbers because it's something important. Like let's say you look at a Rolex, let's say you're not looking at a watch. It's not in front of you. And somebody tells you, okay, I want to buy a 116520, which is a stainless Daytona. And then, 116528 is a solid gold Daytona. I mean,
yeah.
It's a $30,000 list price difference that, I mean, it's just one number changing. And you have to know these things on top of your head. So you don't have to know all the reference numbers, but little by little, like the Submariners, the popular watches, you start learning those first, and then you go from there.
Yeah. All right, man. Well, now let's move on to, let's talk a little bit more about how to spot a fake Rolex. Many people will have their own ways of looking at them. Everybody's got their own little things that they look at, and they realize some go just by the touch, the look. I mean, nowadays you got to really go by everything. You really do. But how do you spot a fake Rolex, and what are some of the basic steps that you recommend to look for?
I'm going to start out with this. Like a lot of the naysayers, that they say that it's impossible for me to spot a fake watch with a picture. That's the gas they try to hit you with. Now, let me ask you a question. If you see a Toyota with a Ferrari sign, you can't tell the difference?
Yeah, that's obvious, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I've seen, like I said, my hands have touched thousands of watches, tens of thousands of watches. My eyes seen it. I would be kind of dumb at this point not to be able to spot a fake watch. Like it's too easy for me. It's simple. Like a lot of times I'm watching TV and a fake watch pops up and I just throw it on Instagram. Like, oh shit, look what I just saw.
Yeah. Well, it's Hollywood, man. I agree. That's the way it is. Okay, and what would you say is a popular Rolex model that gets, which one do you think besides, I mean, I'm going to go ahead and jump in and say the Submariner is the one that's probably the most, but what would you say is a very popular copied model out there, the one you see the most?
I mean, for me, I don't know out in the real world, probably the Submariner, but I mean, on Instagram, it's definitely the Daytona, 100%.
Oh, yeah. With that thick ass bezel and those pointy ass pushers, right?
Yeah, I actually coined the term exorcist bezel after the movie with the girl spins her head around, because these people are so stupid. Like, dude, that bezel does not spin.
Yeah.
What good would a tachymeter be if it spins? It's not supposed to.
Of course, it has to be fixed. Of course.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah. Well, they don't even know what they're looking at. They just see the little crown and they're good to go.
They put calendar functions on these Daytonas and pushers. Like, why would you need a pusher to work a calendar function? Like, that's ridiculous, man.
All right, man. Well, has there ever been a particular Rolex replica that really challenged you, that you really had to look at? I mean, I have a story that I'm going to tell you about one, but has there been one in particular you remember, or you've just busted them right off the bat?
I'll tell you that there's a genuine watch that's always troubling, and that's the Rolex Reference 14060, which is the no date sub. This 2007 Z serial number. On the old body, they used the rehaul engraving. It's a hold case, but then in the same year, the dated sub switches over to a maxi case with rehaul engraving and ceramic bezel. So it's very tricky. I have to take my time with that one.
Yeah.
I've gotten myself in trouble with that watch.
Yeah. I had a watch come in one time that was no holes case Submariner Z serial, and it looked perfect. At the moment when I grabbed it, I thought it was perfect. And then something I started noticing was that the number six marker was a bit crooked. I'm talking about like very little, and I'm very picky. So I started looking at that, and then I was kind of like, man, what is that? And then I noticed that the lock of the clasp was a different color stainless than the rest of the clasp. So then I kind of really started questioning, and I took it to my watchmaker. We took the watch apart, and believe it or not, the movement was even a clone, okay, of the actual Rolex movement. But upon further inspection, it's when it really came out that it was fake. When you look at the cap, the case back, when you hit it with the loop, the grooves were, they weren't machined, they were like casted. But that was probably the hardest fake that I've ever seen to spot, because it went through two other hands of reputable jewelers before it got to mine, and I don't know, I just started questioning it, and it turned out to be a fake. There was a batch of those fakes that came into our neighborhood, and they've been sorted out, needless to say, since then.
Yo, I got a story. I actually had a follower one time. He bought a watch off of eBay. It was a genuine. It was a Submariner Hulk, the all green in the maxi case, and the case and the bracelet were real, and the movement was fake.
Wow.
So yeah, because he noticed that he would put the watch down for an hour and it would stop working. So actually, he fought it through eBay, and we were able to get his money back. And I got him a genuine movement for $3,500. So he ended up getting a real watch for $3,500 and a little money off the top to put the movement in the watch.
Oh, he did good then. You know, he got lucky.
Yeah, I mean, that watch is $9,000, yeah.
Yeah, I saw one time also a gold Submariner with genuine movement, but the case was aftermarket. And forget it, once you have an aftermarket case, the stampings are all wrong, the serials are wrong, it might as well just be nothing. You know, it's no good. But, okay, cool. Now, besides also Rolex, what do you think of the other brands like Hublot, AP, Patek, Richard Mille regarding how easy those are to copy?
You know, they're not very easy to copy well. Like if you look at it like a regular a Patek, Nautilus Date, or a Calatrava, those are easy to fake.
Yeah.
Because they don't have any details. But once you start getting into the complications, they can't do it. It's impossible for them to do it correctly because, you know, it takes countless hundreds of man hours to produce a watch like that, and these guys, they're just trying to make a quick buck, put it together and throw it out there and maximize their profit.
Okay, and when it comes to Panerai, how about Panerai? Do you see a lot of good fakes, or you know, does it give you a lot of trouble to spot those? Or talk to me a little bit about the fake Panerais.
I don't really. I mean, I know this is gonna hurt a lot of Paneristas out there, but I don't really follow the brand. I'm starting to follow them now because in the beginning they used to just slap an ETA in it and sell it for $4 or $5 grand, and you know, and to me honestly they all look the same. But lately it's been getting into in-house movement, and they're getting better. So I'm gonna start brushing up my knowledge on Panerai.
Okay, and you know, I've seen there's a lot of fake Panerais out there, and it's some of the watches that even some of the local dealers here in Miami, they shy away from, because there's a couple of really good copies coming out of other countries that are not necessarily Asia, that are really good, you know, really good to, you know, to catch. Is there anything in particular that you always look at first whenever you see a Panerai, that you always look at first? Like, what is one quick basic thing that you always look at?
I mean, the thing you gotta understand about Panerai is it's an easy watch to fake, because I mean it's a simple watch. I mean,
correct.
It's a good made watch. It's very understated, but it's very simple. I mean, the only way I would be able to spot a fake Panerai, I would actually, if it has a clear case back, then I could go for that. But if it's a closed case, then yeah, I'm gonna have trouble there.
Yeah, I mean, I hear you. Well, most of the times when I get a closed case, unless I can feel it out right off the bat, if I have a doubt, obviously we got to open up the case back. One of the simple things that I do a lot of times is I loop the pin in the center of the hands, the main little shaft right in the middle. For me at least, I like to always loop it and take a look at the finish. You know, if it's grainy or if it's really nice and smooth, then obviously it's usually original. But I mean, I don't know how you feel, but I never use one thing to say that a watch is fake or real. I like to always look at a combination of things, right?
Yeah, I mean, it depends, like what watch you're looking for, you know. Like let me a fake AP Royal Oak Offshore. There's certain things I have to look at. Like the thing that the fakers haven't mastered is the wide base of hands. The base of the hands are always wider.
It's way bigger.
Yeah. And they've gotten better with the date window, but the font on the date is still no good.
Yeah.
You know, so
usually I also look a lot of times at how the depth of the date on there.
Definitely.
Because since it's a modular movement, it's supposed to be more down there. A lot of the fakes have it real shallow, you know?
Yeah.
All right, and what has been the best fake watch outside of Rolex that you have ever seen? You know, the best one that it really, you know, took a challenge. I mean, do you remember by any chance?
I mean, the best watch that I've ever seen in person. I saw it around 3 months ago. It was a one of one, man. This thing was spot on. It was an AP Royal Oak offshore. It was a
Wow.
it was a gold rubber clad, but if the guy hadn't told me it was fake and how much he paid for it, like I could not know the difference. It was that good, but he actually
Wow.
paid $3,000 for it.
Wow. Yeah, man, these fakers will go beyond limits to pose. $3,000? Oh my God, man.
Yeah, but
I would have been...
What we got to understand is that $3,000 will give them a little bit more budget for the details that makes the watch better.
Correct. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Like you said, it's a one-off. Somebody sat there. It might have even had a couple of blend of parts from real and fake, you know, whatever it takes to get it, to make it right, you know. Okay, cool. Now, we're going to go a little bit over now about some of the celebrity watches, you know. Can you give me names of some of the top celebrities that you have busted and the fake watches that they wore?
Man, there's so many, but off the top of my head, I caught Tyrese, the actor and singer, with a fake AP skeleton.
Oh man,
it's still actually
Tyrese. That's a good one, man. Wow.
I caught Young Buck from G Unit with a fake Hublot Big Bang and a fake AP Royal Oak offshore.
Oh man.
I caught Jadakiss the rapper with a fake Yachtmaster 2. It had instead of having a regatta countdown, it actually had a calendar function.
Yeah. The whole hand went all the way around instead of staying at the 10 or the 0. Correct. Yeah. And those guys have no excuse, you know, because they're not 16-year-old kids. You know what I mean?
No, and the thing is that the jeweler, me and Fake Watch Buster, we got in a pissing match with the jeweler, and the jeweler actually said that Jadakiss knew exactly what he was buying, that he knew it wasn't real.
Wow. Yeah, that already. I think at that point it got even worse. It got even uglier there at that moment.
The thing with me is, you can't call yourself a jeweler and sell real and fake. You have
I mean, you're selling dreams. Then is all you're selling. You're not selling jewelry.
You know, because some people say like oh, I'm just out here to get the money. If you sell fake watches and real ones, you cannot get upset when somebody calls you a fake jeweler, or you know what I'm saying, because you're supposed to pick one or the other. If you want to sell luxury watches, there's a responsibility that comes with that. You have to do your due diligence and make sure you don't move a fake watch. It's not right.
Absolutely not, man. That's this. You know, I tell this to people all the time. This business is solely on trust. You gotta trust. I trust my suppliers, and my clients need to trust me. This is a chain of trust here. You know, and if you start selling fake and real and this, and like, where's the trust there? You know, I wouldn't trust a supplier of mine with a $50,000 watch if I found out he sold to somebody anything that just wasn't correct. You know, right?
Did you ever hear about these guys over here in the Diamond District that they're selling fake gold bricks? You know, the kilos of the fake gold. A couple of people got caught out there, man, with buying fake kilos of gold.
Unbelievable.
They were filled with lead.
Oh my God. Yeah, with like a little bit on there.
Yeah.
Wow, man. Now, has there been any celebrity that has particularly gotten ticked off, or like has like threatened you bodily harm or anything that you busted really bad and he was really sore about it?
This one I have to give joint credit to Fake Watch Buster, because I got the bust and I sent it to him, because you know I like busting more like the everyday people, because when you bust a celebrity, their fans are relentless. They won't leave you alone. They won't leave you alone. So I sent the watch to Fake Watch Buster. Faruco had a fake. He was actually on the top of the billboards at that moment. He had a fake Sky Dweller.
Oh.
You know, and forget it.
I think I remember.
Oh man, forget it. The followers, his followers were relentless. They threatened to kill me. It was really bad, man. Like I had to private my profile, and like it was crazy, man.
Man, don't mess with the reggaeton stars, man. The fans are serious.
Yeah, man. And they got dirty mouths, man. I'm telling you.
Oh yeah. All right, man. Well, you know, now just to get the people an idea a little bit, if they don't follow you already on your Instagram handle, which there's going to be several tags on the screen, so you guys obviously can follow him if you don't follow him already on Instagram, the Rolex Enforcer. What are some of the Enforcer's favorite watches?
What do you mean?
You know, can you give me a a glimpse of what are your favorite watches, kind of what you have right now, what's your collection like, or just a little something?
My collection is always changing. There's 3 watches that I'll never sell, but my collection is always changing. Like I had a Datejust 2 diamond dial with a slate dial, and you know I was in a cash strap, and you know I didn't lose $1 on it. I got rid of that.
All right.
I had a Royal Oak offshore rubber clad in stainless. I had problems.
That's a nice watch.
Yeah, I had. That watch gave me a lot of problems. The pusher, for some reason, it kept getting stuck, and they hit me with a $3,000 service bill, and I got so pissed off I just sold it.
Yeah, they're finicky. The APs are finicky, depending, you know, how you treat them, you know, and the age and stuff like that. You gotta be. So you probably just did the right thing. You fixed it and sold it. Okay, check this out. You know, just right off the top of your head, if money wasn't an option, what would be your 5 top watches? Like, money's no option, just whatever comes to your mind. 5 watches right now, money's no option.
Well, the first one will definitely be a Gruber 4C GMT Tourbillon. That's around 650K right there.
Okay, what else?
Definitely the Patek Sky Moon Tourbillon in platinum. That's around 1.3 used. I like the RM 52, the Skull Tourbillon.
Okay.
The Jackie Chan RM, what is that? That's the 057, I think. Yeah, 057, the Dragon.
Okay. Yeah, the Dragon one.
Oh, that thing is a monster, bro.
And what's the last one?
This one you're gonna have to be patient. It's a Jaeger Culture Master Grand Tradition Gyro Tourbillon.
Oh my God! Wait, yeah, the Gyro Tourbillon. I already know what you're talking about. I hear you.
It's a beautiful piece, man. It's amazing.
We have similar taste, you know. That's what can get better than that, you know. Between the first and the last one that you put, those are already like masterpieces, is really what they are. And the Sky Moon, we're not even gonna go there. You're just gonna walk into the scene just murdering people with that thing. just murdering people with that.
From mansion on your wrist, bro.
I know, man. Okay, well, you know, just to kind of conclude, what is the future of the Enforcer? I mean, you know, you're a celebrity on Instagram. You know, you're busting everybody from the neighborhood poser to the celebrity guy, and you've done great working these, you know, busting these imitators. But how far do you want to take this RoboCop status, and you know, where do you see this going potentially?
I would, you know, I'm thinking about, you know, I do it. I'll be honest with you. I get bored a lot of times with fake watches, you know, so I try to post different content. But honestly, I have a large part of my follower base. They're basically there just to gang up on the guy being caught, you know.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking about maybe selling in the near future, maybe putting out some T-shirts, some hats. I'm still trying to figure out a way around not being sued by RoboCop and Rolex at the same time.
That's a good point, man.
You know, I mean, I think.
I mean, you're just having some fun with it, right? You know, the day it stops being fun, then you know. Hopefully that's not going to be anytime soon, because we're all counting on you out there, you know.
I appreciate it.
We all check it. You know, everybody checks it every day. They want to see what's going on. They want to see who's the... I mean, you would think...
Some people have to learn the hard way, you know. It's not going to be safe to post your fake shit on Instagram no more. That's, you know, I consider Instagram my streets, and I'm watching them 24/7.
Yeah, absolutely, man. All right, cool. Well, you know... Thank you for joining us here, man, on Watch Your Style here. We have none other than Rolex Enforcer. Thank you again very much for sitting here, taking the time. You know, we all got busy lives, for talking to us here and for taking a moment from roaming the streets, you know, for those fake watches, man. But we appreciate you having here, okay?
Thanks for having me.
All right, man. Another special thanks to the Rolex Enforcer for joining us today on this video. If you like this video, don't forget to like and share. Also, don't forget to follow the Rolex Enforcer on Instagram. And be careful you don't end up on his wall of shame. My name is Eric. Watch your style.